Hello, I'm Langston. I'm back on my channel, Jim Lindy, and I know I've been gone for a hot minute. I've had the chance to edit. I just really haven't felt like doing it. See, ever like I know a lot of people like come across like those times where it's like, damn, I'm not in the mood to do this. So it's like, I don't thought about. I don't had a lot to say, but it's like I just haven't really, uploaded. I try to never go longer than like a certain amount of time without uploading. So, it ain't been too long, but it has been almost a week. So I'm gonna be, talking about, in particular, the Pan Am Games results. So to be honest, I did not really watch the Pan Am Games at all. Like I saw clips on Instagram, like I saw videos on here, but I don't know everything that happened. I'm just gonna be talking about the main things that I saw. So first, I'm gonna start with Kayla DeCello. For Kayla, I was really happy for her to win the all-around title. It was really important, to see her make some really big improvements in her gymnastics. I'm glad, she's achieving some success in her comeback. But I'm gonna be real a little bit. Like, I did kind of put her perception, all of that shit on blast about her earlier, my first video, and I still stand by that. Like, Kayla, I'm glad she was able to win it all around. But Kayla DeCello, she does have a lot of form errors. She is a gymnast that is just 10 to death, like people say. Like she can just be 10 to death when it comes to artistry, when it comes to bent legs, flex feet, lack of split positions. Like she just has a lot of deductions, on an even bars, balance beam floor. I think her floor routine is really constructed well, like especially for her. Like, yes, she's gonna get deducted a good bit, but I don't think that she'll get like in the sevens. You know what I'm saying? But like her beam and bars, a lot of deductions. We kind of saw that when she came to Kitakashu. Um, Look at me, look at my Japanese pronunciation, okay? But Kitakashu, when she came to Kitakashu, she did it was able to to achieve some success. But the international judges, they was on her ass. So when looking at that, when you had Jordan Charles make all those damn mistakes and still be in striking distance from her, and you saw Flavia downgrade and still almost beat her, so you're having a competition in your life, you're barely ahead of these other girls. That is a problem. But you have to see the pluses and the minuses as well. That's really all I have to say. Really happy she was able to win a medal on floor. She was able to, win a medal in the all around, do pretty well at this championships. Now I want to move on to Flavia. Flavia's looking really good. Obviously Flavia does lack difficulty, but I would say that, Flavia, she's really putting it together. She's getting her element. She's hitting all of her events. So that's really good for her. Her consistency is improving. And for Flavia, she always has had, the potential. She just can't turn the potential into the results. So for Flavia, if she can really bring back her beam difficulty with the consistency she has now, if she can really, upgrade a little bit more on floor and, be consistent like this on bars, she can help Brazil out a lot in the team. And also, she can, also improve her double twisting Yurchenko because her double twisting Yurchenko is a mess, to be real. If she can, get more consistent on that, she is not only in my opinion, a contender for potentially even gold on balance beam. And, she also has the potential to medal on floor, as we saw. She has the ability to help Brazil probably by maybe half a point or so. So because of that, like Flavia, like I really see the improvements in her gymnastics. And that's something that's really good for her. And I really think that she is a major contender come 2000, 24. Definitely she's going to be on the team regardless. But, I want her to put together the beam routine that we know she was always capable of putting together. If she can really do that, that will really speak volumes, to her achievements in her career. This is the first she won her first individual medal, and I love that for her. I want to move off to Jordan Childs. Jordan Childs, she did decent, but she did definitely underperform. I thought this was gonna be Jordan Childs championships. I thought she was gonna like, have a really good meet. Obviously win the all around, and I mean she did show that like even with her making mistakes, she's still up there. Jordan Childs definitely needs to improve her consistency. Like she needs to, improve, bring back some difficulty, in my opinion, to be a major player for Tokyo. Looking at the Tokyo team, this is my perception, but I see Simone, I see Shilese. Shilese is someone who adds a lot on bars. She's a potential bar medalist as she's proven. And she also is a really good all around, in my opinion, the second best all arounder. They need someone that's really good on even bars and balance beam. In my opinion, that could be Gabby Douglas or Sunisa Lee. They need someone who has a really good chain and someone that can, really be good on floor. In my opinion, I see Jay Carey doing something like that. And the last spot, in my opinion, goes to someone like Jordan Childs, like Leanne Wong, who can rest one of those athletes and also put up a pretty decent score on all four apparatuses. And also is, pretty good on bar floor, pretty good on a specific event. someone who doesn't, does not have to have everyone compete off for apparatus. You get what I'm saying? So, I definitely see a spot for Charles on the team and, even potentially Ann Wong, but they need a lot more difficulty, in my opinion, to, realistically be a major contender. But Jordan Charles definitely underperformed. Vaults looked really good. Something I didn't notice from his championships was the scores was not making fucking sense. And I know the Pan Am scoring is always overscored. Like, Pan Am's gave Cart Eco like a 15-2, 2019 on Beam. So, and that was a really good Beamer team, be for real. Like, Pan Am's has always been really overscored. So I really take this shit with a grain of salt. But regardless, like, some of the scores are just not making sense. That's something I did notice. Like, and I mean, I've seen that from Olympics and Worlds too. But damn sure, with these championships, like a lot of shit was just not making sense. So now I want to move on to Rebecca. Rebecca absolutely ate. When she stuck that vault, all I could do was fucking laugh because y'all hoes had so much shit to say about when I put Rebecca over when I put her over Michaela Maroney and my vault, my top 10 vaulters, y'all was like Michaela's a better vaulter. Rebecca's not better than her. And when she stuck that Chung vault, I was like, one thing about me, when time go on, my argument gonna get stronger and stronger. Okay, like that's one thing about me. Like my arguments stay getting stronger. I know the hoes that had all this shit to say in my comment section. They was like, "Damn, bro, like he really won. Like I really won the argument. I really did won. Like I won that shit. And you can't even sit up here and say like I did not win that argument with y'all hoes. And I had to go off on some hoes. And I'm finna post that shit a little bit later than in this video. But a couple of y'all hoes really had to get checked, and I'm finna bring that up as well. But Rebecca, she looked great on Vol. Bars. She need some improvements. They're coming, but her bars consistency. She's had a long season. Beam, she's getting more consistent on Beam. I really like that. A little bit more difficulty. We didn't obviously not see her on floor. She looks really good. I really see the best for her coming in Paris. I'm curious to see what Shilese also has in terms of her upgrades in store as well. And now I want to move on to Kayla, what is it? Kalia Lincoln, as well as Zoe Miller. So both of these gymnasts were able to win their Pan Am titles on bars and floor, and I really love that for them. When I first started this series, you had a lot of people saying you need to put Kalia Lincoln, you need to put Zoe Miller on the team, which is something I always disagreed with, and I still stand by that. I was really happy to see their improvements. I love seeing Black women win, but I'm not delusional. So for both of them, I want to say that one thing about me, I'm pro Black, but I see, I do give people energy. Like when it came down to ranking, um, Jessica Gadjov is a better tumbler than Rebecca. I did that, even though I will always stand by Rebecca. Jessica is a good tumbler. She also has a lot of difficulty, so I put that shit in mind. I don't, base shit based off my own personal beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with same thing with numerous other shit. Like I call Sky Blakely out. Like I'm not just totally biased where I just don't see past the bullshit. And for these two gymnasts, like, they really are making a lot of improvements and I see them as a gymnast of the future. But as of today, like I just don't see it. You got to think about it though. Shilese, you go back to last quad, Shilese was not a main contender. Like I never expected Shilese to achieve the shit she's done. Just because they're not where they need to be now does not mean that they don't have the potential to be that in the future, as we've seen with Shilese Jones, as well as Rebecca Andrade. So that's something I want to note. But realistically, they have a lot of deductions in their routines. Like when I look at Kalia Lincoln, like her Chusavitna has a lot of deductions. When I look at Zoe Miller, her uneven bars, just a lot of leg separations, a lot of flex speed, a lot of just errors. We have to be real. Black women don't get the same luxury that white women get in gymnastics. Like we see with Rebecca, Shiley, Simone, they have the best form, the best execution of all the gymnasts, and they still be getting their ass killed with execution. So when you think about that, we're talking about bitches that give the judges a reason to deduct them. Like they would destroy they would really destroy Zoe Miller on bars. Like if she made it to the world championships, like they would have ate her ass up with execution. She would have been like in the, I would say high to mid to high sevens in execution. And we're gonna talk about Kalia Lincoln. I think Kalia Lincoln, her floor, like her artistry is pretty decent. her tumbling form, I do see some errors on some of the passes, especially her Trisavitna. Some certain, deductions as well. But I think she would score pretty decent on floor. But I don't realistically think that she would help Team USA dramatically. So that's something I see with them. But I see the improvements. I'm really rooting for them, and I do see them as the gymnasts of the future. But in terms of today, they definitely need some improvements. You know, realistically for Pan Ams, that's realistically all I have to say for the most part. I was really shocked the USA was able to beat Brazil in the team finals. I expected Brazil to win. USA barely beat Brazil with Simone. And if I mean, I know Brazil was going to lose Rebecca Andrade's floor score, but the main reason Brazil, that Brazil had a meltdown on bars. USA, they were pretty consistent for the most part. So that was something that was really, really shocking to me. But this really did kind of give us like a show as to what we're going to see in Paris, what we're going to see in the future. Obviously, this was not, really major competition, so I realistically did not really feel the need to like, cover the same way I did Worlds. But now I'm going to move on to responding to some of y'all's comments. So obviously, you guys saw the community post I made. So someone said, "I love Jade, I love Michaela Moes, but they do not only do difficult vaulting, but also beautiful vaulting, and it's just nicer to watch." So obviously, this shit was some racism. Like, and I called this shit out, and I'm glad a lot of y'all stand up for the same shit. You have to watch out for gaslighting. I'm someone who defended Jade in the past. Michaela is a great vaulter, and I think they're both beautiful vaulters. But when you sit up here and say they're nicer to watch, and they specifically have beautiful vaulting, why the fuck does Simone not have beautiful vaulting though? Like, what makes their vaulting more beautiful than Simone and Rebecca's vaulting? Like, I really want to know. And it's clear what it is. And like I said, you specifically like two white women and think their vaults look better when it doesn't. Your racism is showing. Vaults aren't better, it's your perception of beauty. When you see white women as superior, when you think white people are more beautiful, of course you think their vaults are the most beautiful. But Jade and Michaela, specifically Jade, Jade has a good amount of form errors in her vault. But you mean to tell me like her vaults are more beautiful than Simone's and Rebecca's? That's no coincidence. So you have to catch motherfuckers out on their racism. And when I saw people liking the post, I'm like, oh, so it's not just one person that feels like that way. So again, like, you have to catch out gaslighting, call gaslighting out every time. Like, the racial bias is fucking real. And in that, instance, it was clear what the fuck it was. You can't sit up here and tell me that you randomly prefer that. So I had to gather some holes in the comments because this one motherfucker, he always coming up on my shit. He got the most shit to say about all of my videos. He's so hot and cold. I had to go off of that motherfucker because he was gaslighting me when I was talking about the masculinization of black women. And he said, "Oops," they said a trigger Jimmy Skinner, which they didn't. They weren't even. We weren't talking about Skinner. Like we were talking about Michaela Maroney. So it's like you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. He said you definitely have a special hatred for Skinner. I really don't. I just don't ride for bitches that call black women monkeys. Like you sat up here and referred to a black woman as a monkey. Of course, I don't like you. You have an entitlement, and I call that out. I don't specifically target her. I defend bitches who she comes for. So it's a difference. And I said, no, they weren't even talking about Ronnie. So you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just running your mouth. Again, I want to move on to something else. This one motherfucker, this is the most gaslighting comment I might have ever received. Somebody said, why can't people just agree that all these women are super talented? They didn't agree that. They said those white women were specifically better. So again, what are you talking about? Catch them out, like call them the fuck out. Gymnastics is so subjunctive as well. Some people may have aspects of an athlete's performance as being superior. What makes their performance superior though? Like answer the fucking question. While others focus on attributes. What attributes? Whiteness. Again, so yeah, exactly. That does not equate to racism. Yes, the fuck it does. Like that's everything you literally just said is people showing gaslighting a reason for why they think white people are better. So what are you talking about? My faves are white, black, and more. All lives matter in the equation. That's an all lives matter response. Like, bitch, we're talking about black. So what are you talking about? Why does someone have to be verbally attacked because their faves happen to be white? There's nothing wrong with specifically having faves. If your faves are only white, why is that? Why is that? Because I come on here and I say good shit about white gymnasts, about black gymnasts. Like I have good shit to say about Sunny Weavers. I have good shit to say about a lot of bitches. So if your faves are only white, why is that? Specifically, the fact that white gymnasts are not even the best in gymnastics as of now. So if your favorite athletes, if you specifically, have faves that are white, why is that? That's so again, bitch, caught out. They said if your faves happen to be black, would it be racist? Why are you trying to compare black and white people? Do you compare Germans to Jewish people? Like, do you put German people on Jewish people on the same hierarchy? Do you put them on the same level? So if you don't compare Jewish people to German people, why are you trying to compare black people to white people? I hate motherfuckers do that. Like I had to cuss somebody the fuck out in my office about that this week because they're not the same. Bitch, we ain't had the same history. We don't deal with the same kind of abuse in this world. So don't try to compare us. To set race and then try to say angry undertones. But I'm saying motherfuckers gathered her. But when I tell you, bro, like that's the most gaslighting racist comment I think I might have ever got. And people say racist shit about Simone every day. People say racist shit about Gabby Douglas every day. People say racist shit about Rebecca Andrade every day, which I'm finna get to. A motherfucker came out here and told me that black people should not have the right to vote because of the shit I had to say. And the sad thing is when I was having that video, I was very professional for the most part in my first video. And that motherfucker still said that to me. So again, like, but y'all done had shit to say about that. And I really popped off in one of the responses. Um, I said a parent, I said, like, y'all get so mad when y'all get accused. When you see someone getting called out for being racist, white people be getting so defensive because that's who they really are. It hurts them to see someone like that being held accountable because that's who they are, and they don't want to see themselves as that. And that's really the truth. I'm not gonna sit up here and focus all day on calling that motherfucker out, but that shit really pissed me off. Last thing is, I had to go in someone's comments and say, y'all had the audacity to be mad when I said Rebecca was a better vaulter than Maroney. Everyone was eating that shit up. And then this motherfucker went to the kill. He was like, Maroney didn't blow out her knees on her Aminar 3 times. Like the amount, it never like y'all will go so far to tear down a black woman. Like really. And I even said that. I said Rebecca didn't fall at the Olympics though, and she actually won the title. To go that low to tear down a black woman is crazy. She also tore her ACL on her 2.5 twist to full, which was she didn't even tear her ACL 3 times on her Aminar. She's just running your mouth. Like people go so low to tear down a black woman, and it's just really sad. Because when Jessica got injured, like when Jocelyn Robinson got injured, I didn't see anyone making jokes about that. That shit's not funny. It's not funny. But they will do anything to tear you down. But they don't give everyone else the same energy. You gotta catch this shit out as well. But that's really all I have to say about Pan Ams, addressing some of the bullshit from my last couple of videos, my last comments. So please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Make sure to have a nice day, you guys. Goodbye.